Do you sometimes struggle to do your quiet time? Well, you're not alone. Sometimes it can be hard to know what to read or what to write about. I did a survey on 5 different people with different ages and asked them why their quiet time is a struggle for them. Most said they were too tired, they didn't have time, they were too lazy, they had other things to do. I'm sure you can also relate. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you 7 tips that will help you when your quiet time is a struggle. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So my first tip is to set aside time. So this is like one of the most important things to do, because if you don't set aside a time to do a quiet time, you're never going to end up doing it. So set aside a time that's best for you and that you feel that you'll be able to do it at that time. And you can just experiment with like different times and see which one works best for you. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the morning, but I prefer doing it in the mornings because that's when I'm most awake and I have the most time. My next tip is to play worship music, and I've seen such a drastic change in my quiet time now that I've started playing worship music, because it just brightens up the mood and I just become more relaxed in God's presence, and I can just feel God's presence much more than I would do if it was just silent. And if you want a worship playlist, and I'll link down my worship playlist that I listen to when I'm doing my quiet time. And yeah, it just like draws me closer to God. My third tip is to think of all the benefits. So there are so many benefits of having a quiet time with God, and thinking about them can make you want to do it even more. So a few of the benefits are: it draws you closer to God, it gives you direction, it gives you peace, it gives you self-confidence, you grow spiritually, it gives you rest and lowers your stress, you can overcome fear, and it gives us power. So thinking of all these benefits can just make us like want to do our quiet time more because of all the benefits that we'll get from it. And for me, the most important one is that it draws us closer to God, because we all want to be close to God. My fourth tip is to change things around. Before, when I was doing my quiet time, I was doing the same things over and over and over again, and it became a routine rather than like an intimate time with God. And I just kind of felt like I lost the purpose of doing a quiet time. So sometimes I go outside to do my quiet time, sometimes I don't read what I plan to do, and sometimes I just do things completely different. Like, I don't go according to a schedule, like today I'll do this and this and this. I just kind of like let God lead, and yeah. My next tip is to enjoy it. So quiet time shouldn't be a chore. We should rather be looking forward to spending time with God every day. And when it becomes like a chore or something that's part of our to-do list, then we kind of just like lose the meaning of doing a quiet time. It shouldn't be something that we should try and get over with quickly, because remember that this is the creator of the universe that we're talking to, and that he holds our life. And it should just be like a time where we just get to relax and enjoy and just spend time talking to God like you would talk to a friend. And it shouldn't be something that we're forced to do or something that we don't want to do. My next tip is to journal. So I journal every day when I'm doing my quiet time, and I find that when I journal, I just pour my heart out to God, and it just helps me in my quiet time so much. And I usually have 2 journals. I have one which I use for just writing to God and just pouring out my heart to God, and another one which I use to write what I've learnt. And journaling is just like a good way of starting your quiet time and just becoming closer to God and just talking to him in a different way. And I just love journaling because it just draws me much closer to God than I was before. So if you haven't tried that, I would really recommend that. Then the other journal I use is for when I'm just writing the stuff I've learned in my quiet time. And if you want to know how I write in my diary, then I will link a video at the top, which is how I study my Bible, which I did 2 weeks ago, which just basically explains everything. My next tip is to listen to preaching. So sometimes reading the Bible can be kind of tough because we don't understand what it's saying sometimes, and sometimes it's just kind of hard to understand a verse. So when this happens, I usually go on YouTube and listen to preachings. I have a few favourites of pastors that I like, and I'll link some down in the description. And you can also find some really good Bible studies on YouTube as well. All you have to do is just type up whatever you've read, like Ephesians 5, and then find a Bible study. And I have also done a Bible study video on Romans 6. and I'll link that up at the top if you're interested. If you guys want me to do more Bible study videos, then just say in the comments and I will do that. And yeah, so listening to preachings is just a good way of understanding things better than just doing it by yourself. And of course, you can also pray if you don't understand a verse. But this is just what I like doing. Like after I finish my quiet time, just going back and listening to a preaching or a Bible study on YouTube. So that is my 7 tips for if you struggle to do your quiet time. And if you're not already subscribed, then please do so, because that would mean a lot to me. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. God bless and goodbye.